The Bible teaches a post-trib rapture. Matthew 24 says the rapture is after the tribulation.
No, it doesn't. These are the verses that post-tribbers are talking about. Matthew 24, 29 through 31. After the tribulation they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. That is not describing the rapture of the church. First of all, those elect are not Christians. Those elect are Israel, mine elect. See Isaiah 45:4 in Romans 11, 26 through 28. The context of Matthew 24 is Jewish. See verses 1, 15, 16, and 20. The disciples Jesus was talking to were all Jews. Read Matthew 10, Matthew 15, John 4, and Acts 10. None of the disciples were born again yet. See Luke 22 and John 7. What we call the church age is a parenthesis between Daniel's 69th and 70th weeks. In Matthew 24, the 69th week was still in progress, so Jesus spoke to his unregenerate Jewish disciples as representatives of Jews in the 70th week, not representatives of the church. Regardless, he said, gather together his elect, third person. He did not say, gather you together, second person. The phrase, from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other, is ambiguous, but you should not assume that it means they will be gathered from earth and brought to heaven, because similar expressions are used in Old Testament verses about gathering the Jews from everywhere they've been scattered and bringing them back to their land. See Zechariah 2, Deuteronomy 30, Nehemiah 1, and Isaiah 11. At the beginning of Matthew 24, when the disciples asked, "What shall be the sign of thy coming?" they were asking about his coming down to earth, what we call the second advent, not his coming down to the clouds for the rapture. They didn't know anything about the rapture in Matthew 24. 3 of the 4 disciples who were with Jesus in Matthew 24 were also with him at his transfiguration, Matthew 17, which was a vision of the second advent. Compare Matthew 17:2 with Revelation 1:13 through 16 and 19:11 through 16, which Jesus described as the Son of Man coming in his kingdom, Matthew 16, as in the beginning of his 1,000-year reign on earth right after the tribulation. That is what they had in mind.